So Russell, you spent so many nice words about Lake of Garda, but seriously think that this place can be one of the center in the world of yachting?
I think so. I think it's a fantastic place to sail, and it's very challenging. It's great conditions. You get fantastic conditions in the morning, and also a good thermal breeze in the afternoon. I think it's one of the best places in Europe to race.
For your experience, talking about the yacht club itself, the yacht club has something that put in high class in the world.
Well, the people here are what makes the difference. You know, we have great cooperation with them when we come here as a class. They make sure that the logistics are well organised and you know, obviously it's a very, very nice environment that they've built here. There's all the facilities. The club has a great gym, all the other onshore facilities, nice restaurant, and the marina's good. And you're only a few hundred metres from the course area. Yeah. So you only have to leave 45 minutes before the race, do a few checks, and then you're racing.
Which is good, of course. Let's talk more in general about the general economic crisis. For your experience, you're in the center of the yachting world. The yachting world has been touched. How has been touched by the economic crisis?
Oh, for sure, it's the yachting world's been affected. I mean, sponsorship is harder to get. It's always difficult, but in these times, much more difficult to secure and keep good sponsors. Also, a lot of boat owners are looking at just scaling back and being more careful with their resources, as much as anything else. For the appearance. They don't want to be seen to be, spending money on or too much money on their leisure activities. But this is why, I think one reason why our class is actually continued to do well is because there are a lot of things about the class that the running costs of an RC44 campaign are much lower than many other.
You've been able to keep it under control.
Yeah, very very much.
From the original idea, you still that this is still much one of the guide, the driven rules of the class. I mean, keep the cost down.
Absolutely, I think even though we have some very wealthy owners involved in the class, cost is always a consideration, and nobody likes to waste money. So we obviously the logistical support we get with the class and the way that the container system's designed and the way that the events are organised means that we are very cost competitive, and in these times that's important.
It is definitely. We have two stopover in Italy in this season for RC44, but no Italian boat. For the next year, you're expecting again to stop over in Italy and maybe a few Italian entries?
We're not sure. It's true. It's true that we don't have an Italian team racing. We have an Italian owner, of course, but not racing in the circuit at the moment, and so we tend to go where the owners want to go. In fact, the owners vote on where we should go. So next year we'll be going to some different venues, like Copenhagen, and we are planning at this stage to go to the Caribbean at the end of the year.
Wonderful.
So we're going to start to introduce some more venues, and basically, the main objective is to have some fun and go to some different places that have good sailing conditions.
So this maybe means that it's hard to see RC44 in Italy next season, or it's too soon to tell?
Well, it's too soon to tell. I mean, we are just deciding on the program for next year now, and it's hard to go past this place. For example, it's pretty nice here, and I think the owners enjoy the racing here. So that's a big factor because at the end of the day they vote on where and when to come back.
All right. Let's talk a bit about the America's Cup. How big is in your mind right now? I mean, you start to be fully concentrated on that subject?
Absolutely, yeah. I think we're all fully concentrated on that subject. it's going to be a really interesting contest. You know, Alinghi have produced a good boat, as everyone would expect. They have an extremely talented team, and
it will be a close race, or like the 1988 one.
It could be, but you know, so much is going to be. I think, you know, the tuning of these boats will be such a big factor. That even if the boats, let's imagine that the boats, the actual hulls, were identical, I think there's still the possibility to get big differences in speed, and you know, that's going to be interesting to see, you know, which team actually gets more out of their boat.
On paper, you're expecting to be faster in light condition than Alinghi, and vice versa with strong condition, or is it?
It's hard to say. We don't know all of the factors, and we don't know exactly what configuration they will end up with, and presumably the same applies with us to them. So I think it's too early to make big predictions at this stage.
And will be Valencia? You're expecting to be in Valencia, the race?
Well, you know, unless we mutually consent to another venue, if they want to race in the Northern Hemisphere, it has to be Valencia. However, you know, we've always said that if they want to come and talk to us, we are open to discussions on other venues.
And it's been a quarter of a century since your gold medal at the Olympics.
Thanks for bringing that up.
No, I'm sorry. Well, just an excuse to tell me how hard it is. Still keep focused on the yachting. How you can find the right motivation each single morning. Yeah.
Well, I pick my races that I enjoy doing these days. You know, I mean, I enjoy racing in the RC44 circuit. It's not just because it's my concept. You know, it's. I enjoy the racing. I enjoy sailing the boats. You know, I still do some TP racing. I enjoy that. Obviously, I'm doing more and more multi-hull sailing.
How is the feeling of sailing in a multi-hulls for you that was born in?
It's fantastic. I think you know. Quite simply, it's absolutely crazy that multi-hulls at this stage have been dropped from the Olympic Games. You know, I think it's a discipline that should be in the Olympics.
There's a rumour for Tornado be back in August.
I hope so. I hope so, because I generally think it's a skill that should be tested at Olympic level. And you know, when you go racing against the good multi-hull sailors, you realise how good these guys are, and you know, I think it's a shame if they're not exposed to Olympic competition.
Definitely. You have a bunch of Italian guys in your team. We will see some of them at the America's Cup. Some of them will be on the crew.
Of course.
So it will be a bit of Italy in the America's Cup.
Yeah, we do have quite a large component of Italian sailors in our team. You know, I think our team is working very well. I'm very happy with the performance of our people at the moment. These last 6 or 7 months are going to be very, very critical.
You're going to. What will be your schedule from the summer now to until February? When will be the race?
Well, we're going to sail, you know, the big multi-hulls as much as possible. And
when will be moved from the States?
Well, that's you know, we're still determining that. We haven't heard where the venue is yet, so we'll determine that once that's known. But at the moment we are sailing a boat in the States, and we'll you know, continue to do that until we you know, finalise our plan.
Absolutely. So, Russell, thank you so much for your time, and we are so glad to having you here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Russell.